Hello, 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 everyone. It is Sledge without the sweet lips. Without sweet lips today. Let me make sure that I have Instagram up and going. How are you all doing? Guys, I will continue on with God's promises for children. Today, I cannot put the WhatsApp link in because I forgot to charge his phone up again. But for those that want to come live, I will put that app in and just follow the link. And I am going to put my coffee in here. Guys, coffee is just another way of supporting the page, okay? You can also do stars. Stars and coffee is just a way of supporting the page. Now let me log into here so let me see any comments. How are you all doing? Hopefully everyone was sitting back waiting. And again, my brother is not here and don't no one go looking for him. I just thought I'd put that out there. But guys, earlier today, I answered a question. Someone had a question about who is higher, the Father and the Son, or the Son, and why. So, if you are out there, again, hopefully I answered your question. And as I said before, if you have a question, please, please go ahead and leave it in the comment section. And thank you to the person that posed that question to me. But I will answer the questions. Okay. May not know it all, but what I do know, I'm willing to share. Okay. Let's put it that way. Ah, guys, it's a quiet evening. I'm telling you, when that brother of mine is nowhere in sight, it is a quiet evening. You hear that, sweet lips? You're the troublemaker. I just thought I'd throw that out there. It made me feel good. But nevertheless, as usual, we will continue on with giving out little tips and tidbits about how to make a difference in your child's life, really, just how to save them. That's how I want to put it. How can we save our children from really from the world and from themselves? And some of us know that is true when I say this, and sometimes we have to save them from ourselves. Because sometimes as a parent, we're just not right and we need help. So we are saving them from a lot of things. Okay. We are trying to keep them protected as much as possible and get them on the right track. And stop doing themselves injustice and self-harm to others. We spoke about bullying already, so we don't need to cover that because we spoke about it already. So now we are going to talk about setting expectations. And to me, that is very important. And when I was reading, going over some of my material, um, something just came to my mind. And I've just believed that the Holy Spirit brought this to my mind so that I can bring it to your attention the way He brought it to mine. Because, even though I am about to read about timeouts, that sometimes we as parents must take a timeout also. We need it because a lot of times we are frustrated, angry about something that has nothing to do with our child or children, and yet we lash out at them as if they are the cause of whatever it is that we are going through. So I just thought that I would just mention that. Just the way we would give our children a timeout. Sometime we ourselves need a timeout as well. And we have to pinpoint our breaking point. And that's when we need to take a step back and realize that that is when you are inflicting the physical abuse and the verbal abuse. Like I said before, I just believe that there are a lot of times when we, as parents, are the bullies. And we teach it to our children by bullying them because you can bully. Hard to believe, but you can. And as I said before, bullying is learned at home. And we must learn not to repeat or teach our children not to repeat that type of behavior by eliminating the behavior ourselves. I just truly believe that. Like I said, um, could be right, could be wrong, but I just truly believe that the more responsibility that we take as parents and adults, the better chance. Hold on a second. I have to make sure this is working. That is. That it is. So you guys can hear me. Good. We as parents have to take responsibility, okay? Now, no more talking. Now it's time for me to start sharing. These are timeouts. Just one second, guys. I need to make sure I have my notes because I want to go along and not get ahead of myself. Now, redirecting a child's negative behavior. This is what we're discussing tonight, okay? Redirecting a child's negative behavior. And it can be a constructive way to guide them towards more positive actions. So, positive reinforcement. Praise and reward positive behavior when they occur. This encourages children to repeat behaviors. And I mean, you have to be praised for that. Like, oh, good job, I'm so proud of you. Like, have some type of reward system in place, whether it's stickers, stars, um, and let me tell you too, where I get this idea from also. I don't know how many of you out there watch the Super Nanny. Um, I tell you, that one was pretty good. That one was pretty good to me, speak for myself. But yeah, the more you praise them, the more you reward them. You know, they just seem to engage more and react to the positive um, reinforcement. Now, set clear expectations. Clearly communicate what behaviors are acceptable and what are not. Make sure the child understands the rules. And let me just put this out here. Clearly communicate what's acceptable and what is not. And then you want to demonstrate the same thing. See, because sometimes we speak out of both sides of our mouths, and what we are doing is using our children. Now, offer choices. Allowing children to make choices can give them a sense of control, reducing negative behavior. For example, let them choose between two activities. And I know that sometimes some people may look and say that all of this is draining, but let me tell you something, and let me just be honest with you. If you yourself, if you are not investing in your own child, you are failing that child. If you are not investing in your own child. So to say, oh, it seems like a lot, why would I need to do all that? Why would you not? I'll say it again. I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. I don't want to be blue because it's a bad. But no child has to be here. They did not tap and say, hey, can you be my mother? Because, quite frankly, to be honest, and we all know this to be true, a lot of us probably would have been traded in a long time ago. Sad to say, but it's the truth. A lot of us would have been traded in a long time ago. But we're going to change all that around. Hey, model appropriate behavior. Demonstrate the behaviors you want to see. Children often learn intimidation, so model patience, kindness, and problem solving. Yes, I've said it before. A lot of this behavior is being taught at home. So if your child sees you going off, they will go off also. If they see you with a short fuse, short tempered, guess what? So are they. So are they. So the choice is yours. Do you save your child or do you want your child to be like you? And if you're coming from a place of generational curses because that's all you see, that's all you know, and yet you're still comfortable with it, your child will repeat it. Break the chains. Now, set up consequences. And I think this is important, setting up consequences. Make sure there are consistent, appropriate consequences for negative behavior. Ensure these are communicated clearly beforehand. I agree there because if you don't set the stage, if you do not say that, you know, falling out and hitting others, causing bodily harm to others and yourself, even if you're inflicting that pain on themselves. But when you see that type of self-inflicting pain, let me just tell you what I think. I might be wrong, but I'm just giving you my point of view, okay? from watching children and looking at the behavior of some children when they start to inflict that pain on themselves. It is because, how do I put that? Like if a child does something wrong and they know that you have a history of popping them, but they don't pop themselves. Because now they're just saying, I beat you to it. Now what? Well, I know what's coming. So let me just go ahead and hit myself. Let me back myself. Let me just throw myself down. Again, this is just my point of view. This is what I am getting from this. And like I said, from the behavior that I have seen in young children, this is what they are doing. So a lot of times they will pop themselves like, I beat you to it. Let me just save you time and the trouble. So that's why, to me, corporal punishment can't always be the answer. It just can't be because basically we're teaching our children that pain is a way of resolving issues and conflicts. Now, engage in active listening. Show that you are listening to their feelings and concerns, which can help reduce frustration leading to negative behaviors. And let me tell you what just came to mind. If you are in a relationship and you're a two-parent home and your children are watching you and you never display that type of behavior with one another, whereas I'm talking to you and you are listening and we're having a calm, peaceful conversation, or the child is hearing. When I'm trying to talk to you, you act like you don't hear me. Well, why didn't you answer the question? Make sure that's not what your child is saying. And even if you're single, make sure that's not what your child is seeing. Make sure that's not what your child is hearing. Because when they grow up in that type of environment, I know that studies show that a girl will go find a man that is more like her father, and a man will go find a woman that is more like his mother. And if all he sees and hear is his mother, blah, 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 flipping out, going off all the time, and this is just me speaking, my opinion, okay? I'm not a psychologist or anything else, but I just truly believe that the hidden anger that's built up in your son or daughter, they will display that in a relationship. They will be peaceful and calm and then lash out. Then lash out. I, in my opinion, believe that is the reason why you have some men that hate women so much because really, when it's all said and done, they hated their parents, but they just didn't know how to, communicate that. And some did communicate it. Some did lash out at their own parents, but it should never get to that point. Okay, so just remember that. Now, encourage physical activity. Sometimes kids act out because they have excess energy. Providing opportunities for physical play and help channel that energy and positively. And let me tell you why I believe that a child should have some type of outside activity. Because when you have a child that has a lot of energy and you keep that child cooped up in the house 24/7, then that child needs a way of just releasing that energy. And when they don't find it, that's when they turn towards negative behavior. Xavier said chubby chicks be deep, and that's why I love them. Xavier, I don't even know you, but behave yourself. We're talking about saving children. You look like a baby yourself. So let's just move on. But hello, Xavier. And if you have some children from the chubby cheek chicks, maybe you should stick around and just listen a bit. Okay. Now, let me just move. Um, use distractions. If a child is engaging in negative behavior, try to distract them with a fun activity or move items that captures their interest. Again, Xavier, stop acting out. I'm a baby, but I have big. Xavier, watch your mouth, please. And stop. Now, discuss feelings. Help children learn to identify and express their feelings using words rather than actions. And that is so true. But then look, you as the parent have to learn how to express your feelings as well instead of using action instead of words. And how do you use action instead of words? You start to lash out at your child. They do something wrong, you're snatching, you're shoving, you're pushing, you're cussing. But if you just calmly say, no, you cannot have this, I already said no, maybe you can have it later. And your voice is so calm. Your child start to feel that sense of calmness. But if you snatching and going left on a child, that child get older, what do you think that child's going to do? Go left on someone else. Now incorporate fun learning. Make learning more about social skills and good behavior. Fun through games or stories that mirror their experiences. Now, again, use redirection. If a child is engaged in negative behavior, gently, you hear that? Gently redirect their attention to a more appropriate activity. For instance, if they're throwing the toys, guide them to play a game with soft balls instead. And let me just tell you on that note, because I just truly believe that if they if they start to if they do have balls and they start to throwing the balls in, I just believe that when you tell them no, and Xavier, I see that you are trying to come into my live. Um, and I don't have a problem with anyone coming into my life. Uh, but according to your messages that you're here, um, chubby dick chicks, and I'm a baby, but I have a big. If you are trying to come into my life to show yourself, that's the reason why I did not put you in my life. Because your wording here says that you would be inappropriate, and I'm not here for it. Anyways, so if you say to that child, you give them a chance, and let's say they continue to roll the toys, well, then I myself would remove whatever it is that child is throwing. And Yeah, I might try to redirect them by offering them another toy, but then if that behavior does not change, then to me, a timeout is warranted. You know what I mean? And I would be saying, like, we cannot play with the toys because you're throwing them, and that's not how we play with toys. So the session is over. You know? But you have to use your own discretions. Okay, now establish routines. Consistent routines provide structure and predictability, which can help minimize negative behaviors due to uncertainty. It has to be a routine, and you have to stick to it. But you know what's crazy here? Uh, that also applies to the parent. That also applies to the parent. Like you have to stick to your routine. You can't start something today and then all of a sudden you get a phone call or somebody come by. Now all of this is out the window because then what are you teaching your child? What are you teaching your child? Now create a calm down space. Set up a safe space where the child can go to calm down or relax when they're feeling overwhelmed. I'm for that. I'm so for that. Create that calm down space where a child can just stop and think about what it is that they are doing. Because, sometimes their small minds, their little brains are not developing, as quick as it needs to be. And it could be because of some type of developmental delay. Could be a lot of reasons. So to allow the child to just calm down and see if they can calm down on their own. But to me, if I'm hands on with my child and I'm rocking that child or, rubbing that child's back, trying to soothe them, but at some point, we need to allow them to figure it out on their own. Now, use humor. Lightening the mood with humor can diffuse tension and redirect negative behavior into a more positive interaction. And, yeah, because sometimes, you can't make them laugh. You can make them smile. And um, you know how to do it as a parent. Um, but you just do not use negative humor. Do not use humor that's going to um, increase that negative behavior because now you have said something that they found insulting. It's humor to you, but it's not humor to their child. Anyways, now engage in physical activity. Sometimes children have excess energy that manifests as negative behavior. Negative behavior. Okay. Um, and sometimes that negative behavior can come into what is happening now, say on the page. Like sometimes we're old enough to know better, we have to do better. Sometimes your words and the contact that you are having is it's negative. It falls under negative behavior. So I don't want to spend that much time because I'm looking at your photo, and you look very young. So you studied at Toledo District from Toledo, Ohio. If you approach any type of female the way you are approaching this here conversation, then your behavior would be something that's negative. You would have people looking at you, and you're probably a bright young man with a bright future ahead of you. But these sexual innuendos, these sexual conversations, people will look at you in a negative light. And that's what I'm trying to teach you, that you young men need to avoid doing that. You young men need to just, because we have no eye to eye contact, does not mean that you have a right to put those type of comments or a right to approach any female like that. If you have respect for your mother, your sister, your grandmother, your aunt, then you need to have respect for every female. And that is why I'm doing this, Xavier, to say that we need to change the way our children think. Why would you take the time out of your evening to come and speak sexually when there's nothing that I'm saying is about engaging into any type of conversation with a female at that time? I would tell my child to run from you. Like, no. If a man cannot respect himself, even as a young man, then there's no way that he would respect you. And it saddens me, Xavier, that you would take your time and everything is about what's in your pants. Like, you're more than that. And no one should see you as a person that likes to violate females, or as a person that likes to speak in a negative light, bringing negativity to yourself, or having someone think that, you're just some thug off the corner. Like, your future is very bright, but you dim your own light with this type of behavior. And I want to pray for you when it's all said and done, because I know that there has to be a better part of you than what you're typing from what I'm seeing. And if I have to describe you according to your word, the bigness of what's in your pants, whether you like thick chicks, let me see you bite your lip. This is not a sex channel at all. But we're going to save young men like you. And you will look back on this one day and say, why did I say that? Why did I do that? Because you never want to see make someone think that you're desperate. Never, never. And like I said, when I clicked on your picture, you're more than that. You're more than that. So maybe you're just having, one of those nights, whatever, but you are more than that. Okay. And one day you will look back at it when you have your own daughter and say, I don't know what was going through my mind, because had someone spoken to my child like that, I would have been very upset. So we're going to continue to pray for our young men like you, Xavier. God bless you, and allow him to guide you, and you receive better things on your life, better callings on your life, because the Father has a plan for you, and you're just getting all this frustration out, and you will look back a couple of years from now and say, you know what? There came a time in my life when I was very disrespectful, and I was hearing a conversation and it had nothing to do with sex or anything else. So and we all make mistakes. So I forgive you, I really truly do. And I want something better for you, and I want you to want something better for yourself. Okay. Now, um, have conversations, discuss their feelings and motivations behind their actions. Understanding their perspective can often lead to a better behavior. And that is something that we need to practice, trying to understand what it is that our children are saying. Because, sometimes they can become very frustrated and they don't know how to express themselves and they start to act out. But when we teach them how to express themselves and how to use their words and how to remain calm and loving and patient, when we project that onto them, then they will project that onto others. Set consequences. If negative behavior persists, set appropriate and consistent consequences so that they understand the impact of their actions. And that is something that we must teach our children today. There are consequences for your actions. Truly, there is. You use the wrong words. Um, you touch inappropriately. There are consequences for your actions. And a lot of times, those consequences, they're going to be two, okay? The jail and the grave, really. And why would you put your family through this? And like I said, a lot of times when our children are acting inappropriately, it's because they've seen it in their household. And it is what they have been taught all their young lives. And what you do and how you raise them in your home is what they are going to do when they leave outside of your home. And again, no child has to be here. It is your job to save your child. And that is why I keep saying we must bring the village back, offer help. Our young children, male and female, they're taking themselves down a rabbit hole because they are out in these streets trying to raise themselves because they did not get that foundation and that love and that just the nourishment there at home. There was no foundation ever laid for them. And then sometime they go out the door and the foundation that's laid for them is the foundation that they are under. So give your child a fighting chance. If you strike out in anger, they strike out in anger. You tell the lies, they tell the lies. You steal, they steal. You lash out at them, they lash out at others. If you do not give them a chance to correct their behavior, they'll never give no one in the street a chance to correct theirs. They can sneeze, step on their shoes, or look at them the wrong way. And then that child is ready to lash out. So, again, it takes a village to raise a child. We have to try something new because these young kids are going into these streets, lying, stealing, taking each other's lives, taking the lives of someone else's grandparents or great great grandparents, touching inappropriately, having inappropriate conversations, and they go back into this home through a door that closes behind them. And instead of it being a space that just have love, the kindness, the patience, the forgiveness, they repeat that cycle. They go and they listen and they feel all the abuse that's inflicted on them. And they bottle that up and take all that anger back outside. And they find themselves a victim. And that's what people are. They're victims. They're victims of your irresponsibility, your lack of love, your lack of empathy. So, again, let's get back to being the village. Let's be the village. Let's save our children. Let's love them up. If you don't have no children, be an aunt, be a surrogate one, okay? Because when it's all said and done, a lot of times we see these children going down this destructive path and we run from them because they're so full of hate and violence. And I just believe a lot of these older people that's being abused are probably some that was trying to reach out and help, offer a little advice, and yet because you never accepted your child's apology or you were never there to offer them a word of advice, but start that advice in a place of love, they don't know how to communicate with people because deep down inside they're so angry and you're angry and no one ever helped you. And so that is the reason why I said if you have childhood trauma and childhood drama, until you get the correct help yourself, and I'm just speaking from my point of view, you have no business having children. If you see a cycle there and you have siblings and you see it happen even with them and your nieces and nephews, why are you having children? Why? Why are you not giving them a chance? I'm telling you, it's not a day that has gone by that I did not read that someone abused their child, starved them to death. Parents big as horses, looking like big old football players, and you starved a child, or you put your child in a cage because they went to get some food. Obviously they're hungry. They are hungry. Why deny them? So, again, it is Auntie Sledge here, and Uncle Sweet Lips will be back tomorrow, and we will continue with God's promises for His children. Yes, He is always watching over our children, trying to help us along. And we must teach our children how to pray. And I don't care what no one said. I'm just entitled to my own opinion. We must teach them how to pray and let them know that the Father is always there for them. That is our job. So, again, it is Sledge. If there's anything you would like for me to go over, be sure to drop it in the comment section. Um, or you can send an email to thepoint1018@gmail.com. I thank you for allowing me to share with you. Hopefully, some of this is clicking in your head and really you're not afraid to try something new. If it's for the sake of saving your child, it's enough going on in this world without your child feeling empty, alone, lonely, and abandoned, okay, by the person that took that time and pleasure to make them. So I will see you on, do not forget to like, and share this video. And on To the Point 101, let's talk about it. You can send stars. On He First Loved Us, you can send stars. Or on YouTube, you can do super thanks, but subscribe to the channel so that you will get the notifications the next time that I come live. And Xavier, um, bright things for you, bright things for you, a bright future for you. Um, but hey, man, love yourself, okay? Love yourself. God loves you. God loves you. Believe it or not, He loves you. But you have to have respect for yourself so others can respect you, okay? So if you disrespect other people, then they will come along and disrespect you. Okay, and if someone have disrespect you, and that is the reason why you're saying or doing what you're doing, then you have forgiveness in your heart. Okay, if you want the Father to ask the Father to forgive you, anything that you have done wrong to someone, said wrong or whatever, ask the Father for forgiveness because He will forgive you, and then you are to forgive anyone that has wronged you. Okay, so you take care of yourself, young man, and God bless. And like I said, your future is bright. Your future is bright. You must believe that yourself and you must claim it to everyone else. It is Sledge. I will see you tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel, and I am out of here.